Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Word on the Street Is with Michael and Gaby, where we mention it all about your favorite Bravo celebrities and the shows that they star in.
Hey everyone, today we're joined by Kristen, also known as KrissyBalls on TikTok. You've probably definitely seen her hilarious TikToks, specifically on Real Housewives of New Jersey, more specifically on like Louie and Teresa. But welcome, Kristen.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm so excited. So nice of you to have me on.
Nice to finally connect with you.
Yes, absolutely. It has been like almost 2 years at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been on TikTok for like 2 years, so yeah, it definitely has,
Start of
which
the
is
pandemic,
crazy.
right?
Yeah, I would have
Really.
never even used TikTok if the pandemic didn't happen. So
Yeah, same. I just was sick of like missing the references that people would make about TikTok. So I was like, well, I have all this time. I'm at home. So I'm finally going
yeah,
to download it. And I'm so happy I did.
yeah,
Everybody is, strangely. They're all
Yeah.
happy, like they're all like happy they did. They're not like annoyed by it or anything.
yeah. We all like made fun of it, like, oh, it's like a kid's app, but then now you're addicted to it. So
Exactly.
It's so fun.
well, when we have guests for the first time, we like to ask them their Bravo palette, which is something we made up. That includes your top 5 favorite housewives to begin with. So, Kristen, if you want to start with those.
Yeah, I have my little list. My top 5, they consist mostly of New Jersey, just because the attitude, I don't know, the Jersey attitude, it's me. My first
And you're
one,
from Jersey, yeah.
yeah, no particular order, by the way.
Okay.
Dolores, who I now call Solo Dolo, because I mean, I know she's got a boyfriend. She hasn't announced it on the show yet, but Solo Dolo. I actually really like Erica Jane, aside from all of her misgivings and her what she's doing or not done. I always thought she brought a lot of like color, and the fashion to Beverly Hills was awesome, and her attitude.
I love Erica too. So
yeah, I can't. She always looks so great, and Margaret. I like Margaret because again, she tells it like it is, and just the stuff with, I don't know. I guess we'll get into it, but Margaret, Melissa, not your favorite, but
Abby's favorite.
oh yeah. And for this one, I've chosen, I call it the Loretta Dynasty, because I really feel like back when New Jersey started, that Bravo really hit a home run taking a family and putting them on the show. So I'm going to go with Caroline, Dina, and Chris, who was Jacqueline's husband, because they were all siblings. And I thought that really kind of, I don't want to just say the Manzos. I think Dina was awesome. I'm really upset she didn't like continue further with the show.
Yeah.
So, and I always thought Chris was kind of laid back. They all just added so much. And
yeah, they really started with like Caroline and Jacqueline's kind of family dynamic first, and then on season 3 it kind of turned in more into like Teresa and Melissa's family, but they were smart to like focus on the family.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's my 5+ fave.
Jersey heavy. I love it. I love that Marge and Melissa are on there. Melissa's my favorite Jersey housewife and Marge is my second.
Yes. I think Melissa gets a bad rap because she never has a storyline, right? I mean, like but like Jackie never has a storyline either. And I don't know, is that like a big deal? I feel like they all add something, right?
Well, I feel like Jackie's like storyline, especially this season, has been better with like her eating disorder.
Right.
Melissa and Marge can't say the same, but we'll get into that.
Marge really doesn't have a storyline, to be honest.
No, her storyline is the other women, but
which is fine. But it's still, she weaves her way in and out of everything enough. Yeah. So it's good for me. I don't think you necessarily need a storyline per se, but it helps.
Yeah, it helps.
I think it depends.
Melissa, she's totally my type of housewife. She's like really wealthy. I love the way she dresses. She's probably my favorite dressed housewife. I'd love to raid her closet. When she posts on Instagram, I like a lot of her stuff. Funny enough, I don't really like very much of the stuff she sells at Envy, but I love the way she dresses.
Yeah, she does. She does really dress. I think now, like, what is she, 43? Like, I really feel like
Yeah.
40, I don't know, 40 is like the new 20, 30. Like,
Yeah, really.
5 years ago, people that were 43 years old. I mean, look at the Golden Girls. They were in their 50s.
Yeah. It's
J-Lo,
crazy that comparison between the Golden Girls and then like the Sex and the City reboot girls. Like they're the same age.
It's wild.
Yeah, and I think she's great. And you know what I'm gonna say, and this might be a very unpopular opinion. I love Marge's house and the way she decorates it.
When it's actually not being renovated.
Right, but it's done now.
Yeah.
Right.
The only part of Marge's house that I don't like is those animal heads.
Oh, they're real, right? I'm assuming they're real.
I mean, yeah, I assume they're real too. That's just not my jam.
No, you know what? I'm not a hunter. I'm not into that either. I have cousins that grew up, so I'm used to seeing that. It doesn't bother me, but I get it completely. But yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But other than that, I think it's kind of fun. Some of the choices are a bit questionable, but I get what you mean, Kristen. It some fun elements for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I like fun. It's eclectic. Let's just say it's eclectic.
Yeah, it's eclectic. Yeah, that's a good word for it.
Yeah. I like that word for it too. So now, Kristen, can we please hear your 5 least favorite Real Housewives?
Yeah. So this one's not really in any particular order either, but my first one is my number one, like, least favorite. And I think that goes for everybody. Like Amber from season 6. Yeah, she was the absolute worst. Her and her husband were the absolute worst humans on the planet.
Oh God.
I think everyone can agree on that one. I don't think that will have too much controversy with it.
No, terrible. Terrible. Not a fan of Danielle. Her personality, kind of sucks. I don't know. I have a tie here between Candace on Potomac and Brandy because I feel like they both just start shit for no reason. Like,
and they're 2 of my favorites. But that's my kind of housewife, like messy, like that's not what exact housewife that I like.
See, but I can get with that. Like, Teresa's on my list. Like, she's what she is. I don't necessarily dislike her. Her choices are questionable. But she is who she is. She's just not my favorite. And then Teddy, because we can all agree on.
We can agree on that one at least.
Yeah, definitely. Did you watch her on Celebrity Big Brother?
She was on like 1 episode.
Yeah, she got evicted first.
Right. Like, I watched the first episode, and that's not like my favorite show, but I like when it's celebrity because I find it more interesting.
Yeah.
So I watched the first episode, and like by the next, I was joking to myself, like, she's going to get kicked off real fast. The next day she was gone.
Yeah, it happened really fast.
Did you see what she was posting like the next day? How she's like, oh, I gained 10 pounds. Like,
yeah, when you were there for like a week.
Yeah. Like, I don't get her whole fitness thing. I feel like that was like, I don't know, kind of body.
I think that was like a ploy to like get more to her. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. No surprises on my list there. But
now we'd like to hear your favorite and least favorite Real Housewife husbands.
Least favorite would be Jim Marchese. I can't. I mean, I think my favorite is probably a tie between Mauricio and Frank.
Yeah.
They're both.
Frank is, those are like the 2 most popular.
They are my favorite couple. I keep seeing every week these old school I don't know who's leaking these old school pictures of them from the 80s.
Yeah.
They are the best. I think they're the best couple, like family dynamic. I really love their dynamic on how the divorce, but they're together and they love each other's. Well, I don't know. Dolores doesn't seem to like Frank's girlfriends, but he really loves it. And they had a weird, strange relationship together, and I love it. But yeah, those are my 2. Yeah, Jim Marchese, just
Trash human being.
Trash.
I agree with
Yeah.
you on both of those, Kristen. You know who else I really like is Chris Bassett from Potomac.
I do. I like him too.
Yeah.
He keeps her in check.
He tried.
They're good together.
Yeah, definitely. And I do think they make a nice couple, and I do think they're good together. And he definitely, I think she needs him sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah, a lot of the time.
And
Yeah.
then lastly, to round out your Bravo palette, can you tell us your favorite non-Real Housewives Bravo show?
My favorite non-Real Housewives Bravo show. Does it have to be a reality show, or just like my favorite?
No, just just on as long as it's Bravo and not Real
Oh, as
Housewives.
long as it's Bravo. Vanderpump Rules.
Okay.
But I didn't really watch the season. I just feel I kind of fell out once they all started having babies.
Yeah,
I
totally
liked,
agree.
I liked when they were just like the debauchery and the cheat and back and forth.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the first 6 or so seasons of that show was just
Yeah, I agree. I wish they would just cancel it, but now I heard that they're filming again a new season. So
Yeah, we have an inside source.
yeah.
I mean, are they gonna do it? Like, they may as well just do the babies already and just like hire Stassi. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that that would be a good idea, but
Yeah.
I get, because it's not, they don't work at the restaurant. So I think they need a new approach. Since Kristen is such a big Jersey fan, I think we should honestly just get right into Jersey.
Yes, let's do it. So we finally got to see this pink party. Like, I feel like we've seen photos of this party for like months and months and months on Instagram. So it's kind of crazy to finally see it happening.
Yeah, it was like summertime when that picture came out, and everybody's freaking out because Jem wasn't there, and they tried to spin it like a personal reason, but like we know now that it is a personal reason, but not like they were making out. So yeah.
Yeah, it's nice seeing it now because like I'm a huge Jen fan. And so I was like, oh my God, what's happening with Jen? Like if they're trying to get rid of my girl Jen, like I'm gonna be pissed. But now like it kind of makes sense why she wasn't there, but like she's still featured a lot on the show. So I feel like it's all okay.
Yeah, you know what? I have to say, I really, really like the addition of Jen, Margaret, and Jackie. I really feel like the show kind of did like a whole turnaround when they came on, and it's just got it. They breathed new life into it, honestly.
Yeah.
You know.
And honestly, you're not gonna like this, but honestly, Danielle kind of did too. Like she gave us a lot of good drama, even only as a friend of for like 3 seasons. So
I completely understand that. Her and her who's that guy, Danny, that shaggy dude.
oh my God, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I miss the Danny era.
Oh.
And do you remember that diner that they'd go to all the time?
Yes. And
yeah.
she would just like spill the tea to her daughters.
Yeah, like she's just not a great mom.
Yeah. She's questionable, but she's good TV.
She is good.
So.
I may not like her, but she's good for what they needed her for, and
Yeah.
you know,
until they didn't. Yeah, and then I felt like with Jen and Jackie, like the cast was just really solid.
Yeah, totally. I really think that they all add their own little something to it.
Yeah.
Really give it a little, it needed some juice.
Yep.
Yeah.
So back to the episode, we had a lot of drama, including Teresa and Louie and Marge, and then ended up being more with Jen and Melissa. So I feel like there's really a lot to unpack there. So
there is, I know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, starting with Louie. I mean, first of all, like, I never wants to come to any event. He never wants to show up. I mean, I just don't know how, I mean, I guess you're filming in the summer, the stuff comes out kind of in real time, and you don't know what they're going to put on or what they're going to edit into the show, if they're going to put any of that in. So you're kind of, I guess I see his point. He's afraid to show up to see what people are going to say about him. But I don't know. If you do this shit, then you got to kind of just suck it up, you know, like it was all fun and games at the reunion when he was like, oh, I watched the show and I really, you know, I love Teresa. And dude, like he comes in like, I use the expression when he walked into Teresa's that he came in like cock first, like he was shit. And he sat there, and then by this party at the well, not the pink party, at the Melissa's house, you know, he just didn't want to show up, showed up late, all red, purple, whatever you want to call it. And really just kind of the way he was talking to Teresa, I'm sorry. I mean, that should be right? Like just the stuff he was saying to her, like talking to her like a child, like a dog. Like I just feel bad that, you know, I mean, everything they're saying is kind of true.
The way he was talking to her and Margaret was really sexist. I didn't like it at all. Like the
Very
way
fun.
he said to Margaret, like, you don't intimidate me even on your best day. And then he's like, I can speak for myself. I was like, ugh,
Yeah, it's just it's
not
such
here
a
for
turn
this.
off. No, and the fact that, you know, I mean, I feel bad for Teresa. Like I feel like my thing about her is I feel like she was with Joe, the only man she was ever with.
Yeah.
I'm guessing by, you know, her Italian roots and everything. And he is gone, they're divorced, and you know, you're going to fall in love with the next guy you sleep with. I'm sorry, like somebody like her, you know, like that's just it. And I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her girls because she really is a good mom. She's been through a lot of shit. She went through a lot of shit with her husband, basically putting her in jail and then serving her time and coming out. She's good like that, but this guy's going to bring her down, I feel like, hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Teresa's like one of my favorite housewives, and I think mostly just because I love like her daughters a lot.
Mhm.
And I just love like everything she's gone through on the show. Like I feel like she really has carried Jersey through everything. Love or hate her.
Yeah.
And I do think that she's happy, but I also think that she's not seeing the red flags. And you know, like you said, she's always been with Joe. Having a new man is only like new to her, like ever, but it's also new to her, like having a new guy on the show.
Right.
So I feel like she doesn't really know what to do. Like, yes, he did sign up for it, but also she's like really protective over him because he's new and this is like a new situation for her. So I don't
Agreed.
know.
It
Agreed.
also bothers me though that Teresa's saying he didn't sign up for this. He did though.
Yeah, because he did. Yeah.
He knows, like he's admitted he's watched the show. He knows who Teresa is. He signed up for this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And that's why I think that he just plain did not know that it was going to be like this. He really thought he was going to get like a good edit. And, you know, when people are leaking, when you screw people over enough for them to leak information, it's the internet's like, it's the World Wide Web. Like, that's how it works. Like, word gets around really fast.
Yeah.
And
It's the greatest thing that humanity has ever created that we don't understand.
yes. Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
I also think like I know that Teresa kind of deserves it for what she did with Jackie, but I feel like from every season, she's always like getting questioned on something, like back with like Jacqueline and Caroline. Like it's always like she's the focus. And I feel like now she's happy, she has a man, and she just wants like people to be happy for her and not like constantly like questioning her. And like I feel like she just wants to like chill for a second, and they're like not she's like never allowed to do that. But
It's not her fault though. I get that.
yeah,
You know,
it's true.
it's the guy she picked, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Would love nothing more than, honestly, like, again, she's not my favorite, but like, she's still a woman that went through a bunch of shit that she deserves happiness. It's just not going to be with this guy. And she just doesn't seem to realize it.
Yeah.
Even now, like with all the stuff coming out, she's still playing the card of, you know, he doesn't sign up for it. And, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. And then when it comes to Marge, it's like I respect her as a viewer aspect because she is like bringing storylines to light and like stirring the pot, and we need that. Do I like her? No, I absolutely hate her. But you know, I feel like she's so focused on Jen and Teresa, and it's like she's had zero personal storyline this season. She's not really talked about anything going on with her. Like, let's talk about her kids that don't talk to her. Like, she's got a lot of shit too. And I feel like she's deflecting away from that by always focusing on the other women. So I'd love like a Marge takedown season next season, but we'll see.
I don't know. I feel like she's Teflon though. I mean, you know, you got to understand her going after Jen and bringing that up for, besides the fact that people knew about this. There's no way, it's not like she just blurted this out and she was the only one who knew. Like, obviously,
Yeah.
this. And if Jen didn't tell anybody, then his mistresses did. Obviously, you know, they have the big mouths, I'm sure. But you know, it's like the stuff she went through with her mom for pretty much every season since Jen's been on. She's gone after Marge and her mom for how she got into her relationship. And I get it now because I see that Jen sees Marge as a bill. So she's very hurt by what was done to her. So she's going to take it out on the female that she's got to spend a lot of, you know, I completely understand it.
Well, and it's the way that Marge talks about it too. Like, she's constantly like almost bragging about it. And what Jennifer said, she's like, if these other women were like out here saying like, yeah, I was like the other woman and I was like cheating, like that, like, I think that's what her mindset was.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't know. I think the situation's a little bit different, like, than Marge is saying. Like, I feel like Jen always gave Marge shit because like she was the one cheating and then Jen was cheated on. So it definitely triggers her.
Now, where do we think Bill stands in all this though? Because in that last episode, he didn't want anything to do with anything and he didn't stick up for her. Like, I don't know.
That made me mad.
Yeah. You know,
no, defend your wife.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm 50-50 though, because you know, you could be a Joe where like you're constantly getting involved in the drama and it annoys me, but then not sticking up for your wife annoys me. I think there's a happy medium between a Bill and a Joe. So
yeah, not even necessarily sticking up for her, but like letting her fight like she is over him. Like she's like explaining him like when he's standing right there.
Yeah.
She's defending him and he's just not saying, look, this is what happened and I fucked up. You know, but it's all behind us. Like that's okay. That happens in relationships. It's perfectly fine. But if you're going to sit there and like act like that, it's not going to look fine.
Yeah. And the fact that he like got up and like walked like further away was weird to me too. Yeah.
It was just, I don't know.
But I love Jennifer calling Joe a little bitch girl though. I was living for that.
She does have balls, like she's got a mouth on her and you know, I don't know, you know, I mean, I know that they say the real fighter on the show, obviously I think we know is Dolores, never mind that she bit a bitch. Dolores will cut you, you know, other than Teresa, Dolores will cut you, but Jen's got a mouth on her because she's from like Long Island, right? So, you know, I don't think she's from the streets, but you know, she's not from the country.
Yeah, I loved Jennifer from the beginning because of that. Like, she's messy and she gets herself into shit, but that's why I love her. So
I don't like that she's not drinking this season. I enjoy a drunk Jen.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
I mean, anytime she got drunk, but yes, the one at the pool. I'm like, my God.
Oh my God. I still think about that farce often. I also wanted to give Jennifer kudos because one, Teresa like wanted to throw this party and was like, Jen, I can use your house, right? And it was like, Jen, I kind of felt like obligated to say yes. And then Teresa was like, yeah, and now I'm throwing this party, but I'm leaving. And then like sticks the hostessing duties on Jennifer, who I thought really was a good sport about it. She didn't complain. And she had every right to.
And Teresa just played like dumb, like you left in a huff. She's like, I don't think I did. Like,
I know.
You just admit that, like, own up to it. I don't know.
Yeah, she's kind of reaching an old school level of delusion that we used to see back in the day with Teresa.
Yeah.
Like, Teresa definitely was delusional in the early seasons. And then like going to prison kind of gave her a heavy reality check. And now that like delusional Teresa's rearing her head again.
Yeah.
I thought she
I
really,
see
you know,
that.
like after she came back, like everybody was happy for her. She, you know, like she was back with her kids, and now Joe was going to go away, so she had to like take on the brunt of everything, and she survived that. And now, yes, she's just kind of reverting back to her old self, her old ways.
Yeah, now that she's like not having to struggle through everything again.
Right.
What did you guys think about the Melissa and Jennifer fight? Because to me, I feel like Melissa charged Jen, and so I don't really know what Melissa expected by like getting up and going at Jen like that. Like I feel like Jen had every right to like defend herself.
Yeah, if someone invades your space, you're allowed to like push them out of it. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think Melissa got up and, you know, you heard her say like, oh, I'm out of here, I'm leaving. But like, she didn't walk around like
Exactly.
she's like a half and half. She like
Yeah.
through was gonna like maybe bump shoulders or something, but you know, Jen doesn't play like that.
Yeah.
Or, you know, break a glass or throw a fork or
Yeah.
she will
And
grab
it's always with Melissa. And then Melissa's like, you have the wrong girl. But then she like never does anything.
no, I'm waiting. Like she threw a cheese plate last season, right?
Yeah. Like a thing of cheese balls or whatever. Yeah.
Charcuterie board. She just like,
Yeah.
but you know, I mean,
I think she's mostly talk, but whatever.
obviously she's mostly talk, and I just, yeah, I prefer, I'd like to see somebody throw hands on New Jersey already, but
I know. But then, well, we've seen them pull ponytails though.
yeah, ponytail, and that's about as physical as we've got.
The ponytail pull heard round the world.
Yeah.
What did you guys think on where Dolores stood with everything? Because originally she was like against Jen, and now all of a sudden she's sticking up for Jen with all the other women.
I don't know what to think of Dolores this season. Usually she's very much more cut and dry.
Yeah.
Think back to Siggy when she called her what she call a scumbag that season on that porch.
She called Danielle, welcome back, scumbag.
Yeah. I think she didn't like that Jackie said what she said to Jen. That how Dolores, I'm a better friend than Dolores isn't being a good friend to you. And I think once Jackie was out of the picture with that, Dolores swooped right in and said like, oh, okay, I'm here now. I'm here for you. So she got Jen's trust back. You know,
that's why I find it shady, because I know that she doesn't like Jackie. And I feel like as soon as she got Jen to turn on Jackie, she was back to supporting Jen, which to me is shady.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I think she was somehow like threatened by them being friends in a way. And I didn't even think that Jackie's comment was that bad, but she really used that to turn Jen against Jackie, and it worked. So
yeah, because Jen's going to react to anything like that, because she didn't use it, you know, the way that Dolores said she used it.
Exactly.
You know, yeah. What is with everyone? Not everyone. I have heard that Dolores's new boyfriend, people on the internet are saying that he's an Uber driver.
I haven't heard that.
I haven't either, but I don't know. Maybe somebody just made that up. You know, like, I mean, whatever. If you have a job and you're an Uber driver, there's no shame in that.
Yeah, like, I guess.
I don't even know who this guy is or what he does.
Well, he's hot AF is one thing we know about him. And another thing we know is that he has family in Ireland, and they went on a trip to Ireland together where Dolores met some of his family.
Saw that. Does he speak with it? I mean, we haven't heard him speak. I don't know if he's going to be on the show this year, but
fingers crossed.
Probably not, because they're going to have like 13 episodes again. Why do we keep getting short seasons of the show?
I can't figure out the logic behind these types of things, like Jersey getting 13, Miami getting like 12, and then Salt Lake City 21. Like, why can't they all get 21 episodes?
Does it have something to do with the weather? I feel like New Jersey had longer seasons when they taped over like Christmas and like through the winter, you know? And ever since they switched to the summer, it's just short.
I never noticed that, but that's a really good point.
And that's when Jersey was more like family based. Like a lot of the time they filmed like Teresa's Christmas and
Right.
Melissa's Christmas and Jacqueline and the
Mhm.
Manzo family. So I feel like because it's not so much family driven, maybe that's why.
Maybe.
It's actually a missed opportunity on Bravo's part at this point that they haven't done like a Jersey Christmas special, because I don't know about you two, but my favorite Real Housewives to watch during the holidays are the Jersey ones.
Yeah, same.
Like something about a Jersey Christmas just hits different.
Yeah.
This is true. This is true. I mean, maybe they keep it short in the summer because like they have other things to do with their families, and some of them have other jobs. Like Evan has a job, Frank has a job, so it's like
A lot of them have kids that are still in like school.
right.
Jackie, Jennifer, and Teresa at least. And Melissa, yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess with the summer now, like the thing is like the shore, because they all kind of have like shore houses. So
Yes, and it saves, they don't have to go on 2 trips. Like a lot of shows go on 2 trips, like this, they'll go on a trip, obviously. They're going to like Houston, Texas. I don't know, but
Nashville, I think. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like they're so cheap with Jersey, even though Jersey is literally in the top 3 for ratings. I mean, their ratings have been really good.
Yes.
But with the like the opener, they like never get a new opener, and Beverly Hills always does. They always get less episodes, but yet they're still one of the higher rated shows.
Yes. I don't know why they don't have new intro. It's awful. It's like Jen's old knows her old body. She looks great. But it's like I would be like, I want like take new pictures of me. I Dolores has a whole new body. Like, do me again.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, they do the same thing with the Potomac ladies. They never, they only changed up their intro looks once. And also Atlanta, they'll do like the same one for like 3 seasons in a row. It just annoys me because we know that Beverly Hills every year gets brand new opening dresses for the taglines and everything.
Yeah.
So it's the lack of consistency for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's definitely, I don't know why New Jersey, like certain franchises get the shitty end of the stick. I get what they're trying to do with Beverly Hills, because Beverly Hills is the reason I like Beverly Hills is because it's so opposite from Jersey in many ways, and it's so my league, like you have the movie stars, the XTV stars go on that one. So it's
they really focus on the glamour and the luxury. And so I guess that's why. And Beverly Hills is, I think, #1 rated along with Atlanta. So
yeah. I also think Jersey also gets the shitty end of the stick because it's Jersey.
Yeah.
Jersey gets a bad name. I know they wanted Snooki on the show. Well, Melissa always pushes to have Snooki on the show because she knows Snooki, and they're all her, what's her face? Tiki's wife, who's, I can't think of her goddamn name because she's so boring.
Tracy.
Yeah, Tracy. She was just hanging out with Snooki.
Yeah, they're all friends because they all live together. So it's like Melissa had said on her podcast, like, I would love to have Snooki on the show, but Andy always shoots me down because Andy hates the Jersey Shore and would not want his show correlated with that show.
I think he thinks it would bring it down.
Yeah.
In a way, which is like, I don't know. I think Snooki would be fun. I think if I would give Snooki like a couple more years, and I think she would be good.
Yeah.
I love Jersey Shore. Always have, always will.
Yeah. It's I know. I don't think MTV really expected that to work out the way it did with them being so close. Thought they were going to have like clashes and putting all those people together, but it really turned into something else.
It became like a phenomenon.
Yeah.
So we're gonna now talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion part 1. They actually had a disclosure about Jenny at the beginning, basically because they wanted to let us know that the reunion was filmed before all of her posts surfaced, and that's why it wasn't addressed, basically.
Yeah, which is obvious. No one was going to ask I mean, I don't know if people think that that's taped live still, but
Yeah, I know.
I
I guess they had to address it somehow. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
But it
Well,
was funny just like watching this, knowing like seeing all of Jenny's posts with some of the comments she made when she's like, we're both minorities. We really should be sticking up for each other. And then she said, like, everyone's capable of being racist. And it's like, this did not age well for you.
no. No, I know everyone was concerned at the time about, because wasn't it just after Mary didn't show up for the taping that all that happened?
Yeah.
Right? So like, I know that, I mean, whatever, only Mary knows the true reason why she, whatever it was, there are a couple things out there, but that all that heat was taken off her once the shit with Jenny happened.
Yeah.
Everybody forgot about it completely.
I know.
So yeah, that was some weird times with that.
Yeah. And basically, Andy said he had talked to Mary for like a good amount of time, and she was really upset about all the comments about her church. I think that was ultimately why she didn't show up, or at least that's what Andy said.
But there was that interview, right, where the it was her family.
Yeah.
That was they were saying some things.
Yeah.
And then there was the rumor about her and Cam having an affair.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and just to circle back to what Kristen just was referencing, that interview was with Mary's mother and her husband, Mary's mother's husband, and they were saying like Mary needs to get away from Robert Sr.
Yeah.
So yeah, really creepy stuff.
And her
yeah.
No. Or like
say
the church closed.
We saw reports that it was boarded up and that Jen and Heather were filming outside of it.
Yeah, I saw like footage of that. I don't know that it was boarded up. There was a fence around it, like a fence they put up like when they're gonna knock something down, like a chain link fence. I don't know if that's always there, but nobody was in there.
Not very inviting for a church.
No.
And I did see a video where somebody went there and put a camera up to like a window and like looked inside. It was just like empty, like didn't look like it had been visited in a while. So
yeah, I saw something that it was like temporary, but I don't know how true that is. So
interesting. Yeah, I'm curious to see how that's going to unfold.
Well, we won't really see it unfold because Mary's no longer on the show.
No, but like we'll still hear stuff about Mary's church through the grapevine, like
yeah,
on
true.
Like that's what I mean by it. I know, unfortunately, it won't be on the show.
Yeah, I know Mary is like not a lot of people's favorite, but honestly, I'm gonna miss her. Like actually watching the reunion and now seeing part 2, which we'll talk about next episode. But I feel like, I'm kind of missing like Mary in a way.
Missing her lack of fashion sense, like
just her quirkiness and like her drama and her reading Whitney. I don't know.
Yeah. She was different.
Yeah.
She was different.
But Gaby and I have like said this multiple times. I think she just had too many skeletons in the closet to be going on a show like this.
Yeah, because she did always come off very like guarded.
Yeah.
Like, say things just to deflect and like she wouldn't get into anything. And now which makes you just realize that probably a lot of stuff with her church.
Yeah.
And we've learned over the years as Real Housewife fanatics that it doesn't matter how compelling you are as a housewife. If you are not willing to share major parts of your life, it just won't work.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. And we also have talked about how like with her church, she's used to always being right and never being questioned. And in this group, that's not the case. And I think that really bothered her.
Yeah, because she was interesting enough to watch if she would just be like more forthcoming or be more forthcoming. She could have been a good housewife.
Yeah.
So.
But It looks like they have at least 2 or 3 newbies filming for the new season, which is a good news because I don't like a 5 housewife cast. So
Yeah, no, that's like, what it's normal. Like we're at 6 at New Jersey, right? Or 7?
yeah, 6 can
Oh.
work. Yeah, 6 can work. I feel like 7's like ideal.
7 is like a sweet spot.
Yeah. But honestly, I'm not upset about 8. Like we're getting 8 on Beverly Hills and I'm excited for that.
8
Yeah.
full time. Wow.
I love that. I
Yeah.
mean,
Plus like 2 or 3 friends. So
I absolutely love that. And the international Real Housewife franchises, I've noticed that having a really large cast is common. Like one season, maybe 2 of Cheshire had 9.
oh wow.
Yeah, like that's a big cast.
But then how does it like factor in like to the storylines? Like you can't possibly, I mean, that's what editing's for and that's how they do their magic. But I just think
Yeah.
it's so many people with so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 8, I think 9 is maybe too much, but like I'm good with 8. Like I think we only ever had 8 before on New York season
Yeah.
7, I want to say, and I thought that was like a really good season. I have an issue because I feel like the Beverly Hills ladies, they and the fans have held Erica accountable and have really questioned her with everything going on with Tom, but then with Jen, Jen's the one actually that, allegedly is taking the money from elderly. But these women on Salt Lake are still so concerned with what Lisa's said and what Lisa's done. And it's like, I don't know. I've been having an issue with that. And even the fans, like they held Erica Jane to the fire all season long. Like so much hate towards Erica for what Tom has done. And then with Jen, it's like, I don't see really any hate for Jen, honestly. I don't see a lot. I'll say
Yeah.
I don't see a lot.
No, and I feel like Jen's a lot far, like Jen is being held responsible and facing prison time.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it because Erica's been on the show? It's been around longer. I think a lot of people see, that's the funny thing about the internet too. These stands, like I don't like certain housewives, but I will never badmouth someone's looks or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like these people that probably hate Erica because
Yeah.
they don't have her money. They're whatever, jealousy, whatever. That's probably a lot of who really is holding her to this orphans and widows thing. I mean,
Yeah.
Orphans and widows.
I think she probably knew in some respect, if you're getting a chunk of money and you're not going to, hey, 25 million, really? Okay, sure. Like,
Yeah.
but I'm not in that tax bracket. So, I just have speculation and then that's it. Like, I'm not speaking on it factually. But with Jen, yeah, it's been proven that she's been part of this. And now with I can't think of his name, her assistant.
Stu.
Now waiting for him to testify against her.
Yeah.
Him. Like he has to rat her out,
Yeah.
That's serious.
Yeah, it's a lot more serious than Erica's stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Erica shouldn't be questioned, but I think there's been a huge double standard with the two.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think honestly the fans hated Erica and they were excited for her demise and they're eating it up. Whereas Jen, maybe she's newer, maybe fans just ultimately like her more, but it bugs me. And I honestly like both of them, but it bugs me to have watched Beverly Hills and then now see the treatment towards Jen.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But maybe fans are just more invested in Beverly Hills too.
Now, how is because I feel like every single season now there's a during filming scandal, right? So like Louie with New Jersey, and now we're seeing that. Now this thing with Kathy on Beverly Hills. How are people going to react to that when that eventually comes out? Are they going? It's Kathy Hilton. People love her. She's so aloof and hunky dory, even though like she's playing it up. That's not who she is
For sure, exactly.
but people are going to be blind to that and like be like, oh, Kathy would never. Yes, she would.
I know. It's
Sure.
so annoying. There's such a double standard with
Yeah.
like these fans that drives me crazy. And I thought Kathy was good, like comedic relief, like just good, like addition, like, but she didn't add really to any of the storylines or anything major. And then to see like fans be like, oh my God, the Kathy show was on tonight. I'm like, you are not a Housewives fan if you're saying that. Please go away.
It's true. It's so true.
It's like she doesn't, I don't know. But and maybe now I'm being the shady one because I'm kind of excited for her demise if these rumors are true.
No,
Michael, would you say you're being reasonably shady?
Absolutely.
Yes, I think reasonably shady. That's a good reason.
So
I don't know if either of you saw this, but on the Reasonably Shady podcast, actually, I didn't even think of this as I was making that funny pun, but like Giselle and Robin were saying some really problematic things about James Harden on their podcast recently.
yeah,
Yes.
I read something about that.
Yeah, they were saying like, oh, his beard is so disgusting. Like, I just feel like if you shaved it off, like fried chicken would like fall out. And it was like
Watermelon or something.
yeah, it's really like unfortunate to hear two of my like favorite housewives on Potomac saying that.
Yeah.
It's just disappointing to hear, period, actually.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I heard that too. That's, I mean, look, it's you can't really get into it without, I don't know. It was just very on the racially insensitive side from two women that black,
Yeah.
and they're mixed, but you're black. You can't say that stuff.
And Giselle's father was one of MLK's advisors. Like we've seen the photos of like him during the civil rights movements. Like Giselle knows better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder because Potomac is about to start filming. I'm sure that will get addressed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And apparently everyone's returning. So Candace is coming back. I'm excited.
Does what's her name have cancer?
Mia, yeah.
So that what
Mia
kind of cancer is it? Is it like I mean all cancer is major, but like
yeah, I didn't really read exactly.
I don't think
I didn't see the type that it was. I might have missed it, but I didn't see anything that like identified the type of cancer she has. Kristen was just going to join us for these 2 episodes. Unfortunately, you are not watching Miami. I feel like it'd be really fun to cover that with you.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I had a really, really, really great time. Lovely meeting you both. And yeah, I'm obviously KrissyBalls on TikTok. There is a story behind that. That's not just a, made up name, cute little story. Save that for another time. But KrissyBalls on TikTok, also obviously on Instagram. Yeah, and just I say what you want to say, basically. I obviously hope you all found that I'm actually a really nice person. Like I said, I'm an asshole. That's okay.
And that's why we love your TikTok. So
thank you.
Yeah, it was so fun talking to you. Thanks so much for being on The Word on the Street Is. So now it's just going to be Michael and me. Kristen only watches New Jersey and Salt Lake City. Unfortunately, she doesn't watch Miami and Summer House and OC that we're about to cover. We wish she did. It would be so much fun to cover them with her. But like I said, it's just going to be me and Michael covering those. So the first one we're going to dive into is the Real Housewives of Miami finale.
Yeah, so the finale started picking up with Adriana and Larsa fighting, kind of that notorious fight that we saw in the trailer where Larsa was calling out Adriana for being like a Kardashian follower and getting a big butt. Honestly, from the trailer, I'm like, oh my God, Adriana's gonna like eat Larsa up. But honestly, I was team Larsa, and I thought that Larsa had some really good reads on Adriana. So I
agree. I thought Larsa held her own pretty well. And um Adriana, she has a serious bone to pick with Larsa, and a part of me is wondering, like, did something go down over these like 8 years that we're not privy to?
Yeah, it seems like she's really had it out for Larsa, and I don't
Yeah,
know why,
because
but
they didn't
it's
have an issue on Larsa's first season on Miami that I know of.
yeah, I feel like Adriana is like some of the stuff she says to Larsa is really harsh. Like when she was like, "You walk like you have a stick up your fat ass," and it's like, girl, like it was funny, but it's like, okay, calm down a little bit. Like it's a little too much. And then she was going in on her about like selling her feet pics, and Larsa's like, "You probably should sell your feet because you look homeless."
Yeah, yikes. That was like a serious insult.
And then they were like fighting about like Larsa being in the press. And it almost feels like Adriana's kind of jealous in a way because
Yeah.
she's like, I've seen all this stuff in the press about you. And then Larsa's like, well, you never made press. So I really didn't know anything about you.
That was a good comeback.
Because honestly, at that point, like Larsa was just defending herself. Adriana's been really coming at her.
Yeah, Larsa, I'll give her that. She's not an instigator.
Yeah. And I felt like she defended herself well and her reads were good and it was entertaining. So sometimes it just feels like Adriana just like doesn't know when to shut up and then like keeps going, and I don't know.
You know what was interesting about this episode to me is that it didn't really feel like a finale episode. There wasn't really like build up to it the way like other
Yeah,
episodes are. Like it just kind of felt like another episode.
which I like. I feel like the finales lately have been like, this is the event, this is the finale event. There's not really, the finales feel a little bit more scripted in a way. Like, this is the event, this is what we're gonna do. We're mostly gonna get along. The fights really aren't that exciting. And I don't really like that. I feel like I liked this finale better.
No, yeah, I'm not saying this wasn't a good finale. It just felt like it was like, oh, this was the finale. Wasn't
Yeah.
expecting
And
that.
and that's why I liked it, because
Yeah,
it like sometimes the finales are just like so forced in a way.
true.
And this was just like another episode. I feel like they should do it like this more. Um and yeah, so Alexia's mom ended up dying on the day that she was supposed to get married, which was super sad. And that was the main focus after the drama between Adriana and Larsa. It really does feel like, Alexia cannot catch a break.
I
It's
feel so sad for her. And like obviously we know that it's not only Alexia that deeply loves her mother. Her son Peter felt like that was the only person he could talk to. So just really sad. And
yeah,
when we get to know additional relatives on the Real Housewives, and like to the point where they're on the show and we really enjoy getting to know them. It's sad when we lose them. Like Mama Elsa, a
yeah.
secondary character, but like she actually felt integral to Miami.
Oh, for sure. And that's her dying was like almost the reason that it like kind of got canceled in a way.
Yeah. And we used to see Alexia's mom on a handful of episodes,
Yeah.
first three seasons.
Yeah, I can't believe that. Well, obviously Alexia didn't get married that day, but she did end up getting married. But I'm hoping like nothing bad happen to Alexia for like the rest of her life
Yeah,
now.
please, let's manifest this,
We
please.
need to protect Alexia at all costs, because
Yeah.
it's been like in the matter of just like a year or two, like so much.
Yeah.
Like the amount of things that someone goes through in a lifetime feels like it's happened to Alexia in like a year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But she's really strong. Obviously she ended up getting married, so I'm hoping that things are going better for her now.
Yeah, me too.
And we also saw Marisol apologized to Nicole, which for me, I was really waiting to see, and it was nice to see. I don't know if that friendship will really last, but I was happy to see Marisol kind of take some accountability.
Yeah, I don't see it lasting. It seems like a very like surface level apology.
Yeah.
Like Marisol just she has a bone to pick with Nicole, in my opinion.
Yeah, but she's the only one. That's the weird thing.
Yeah, I don't get it. So now we're going to head up north on the East Coast to our summer house peeps in the Hamptons. I wanted to start off by saying that I found Loverboy for the first time in real life at my local Ralph's. I'd never seen it at any Ralph's before. And this is a Ralph's I've been to many times. It was like by the chilled wine. That's why I found it so easily. I've been to that section many a times picking out some Sauv Blanc for myself. And when I saw Loverboy next to it, I was like, oh my God. They had the white peach tea flavored and then like the orange Thai. I did not want that one. That it wasn't appealing to me. But the white peach tea one, Michael's told me that he loves that one. And I was really excited to get it. It was like 6 cans for $14.
Yeah, I first got it when in 2020, that's when I started watching Summer House. But when I wanted to get Loverboy, they only sold it in like New York, Pennsylvania, and like Wisconsin. So I was actually in Milwaukee and I made it a point to like go and find it, and I ended up getting it and I brought it back to Michigan. But now they've grown so much that they sell it in I think the majority of states now. So
Yeah. I mean, this was at a Ralph's in Rolling Hills Estates, like
mhm.
in LA County. So they're growing.
Yeah.
And we've
Well,
even seen on this season of Summer House, Kyle saying that they cannot keep up with orders. He's like losing out on like money because they don't have the inventory due to COVID.
and he's also saying that him and Amanda's only thing in common is Loverboy. So,
Yeah, that's really sad.
and the girls ended up telling Amanda about that and really expressed their concern over that relationship. And even some of them were crying. And I don't know. I don't know. The more we watch the season, the more I'm like, I don't know how this wedding happened.
I don't know how it happened either. I will say though, and I know it's a reality TV show, but like a little bit of this drama felt pretty forced with
Yeah. And it could be a produced
them.
drama too.
Yeah, for them to be like, I learned this really horrible thing and I have to tell her. And yeah, just the way it's kind of all unfolding, knowing that the wedding happens just feels a bit contrived.
Yeah. I'm like, the only thing that I'm annoyed with this season is like, I am kind of over the Kyle and Amanda drama. Like, it's just not as important to me as some of the other stuff happening. So
I agree.
it's kind of
I
getting
mean,
old.
every episode just feels like it's all about Kyle and Amanda and
Yeah, it's really getting old.
it feels like Ron and Sam from Jersey Shore.
Yeah, that's a really good comparison.
Ron,
Stop.
you're
Yeah.
traumatizing me.
Yeah. It's like the less dramatic version of
It
that.
is. And it also gives me Madison vibes.
Yeah. Yes.
Ew, Austin, ew. We're gonna be like
Ew.
seeing him soon on Summer
Yeah.
House. And we know Sierra has feelings for him, and Lindsay still has lingering feelings for him.
Ugh.
Like
Yes.
these are two women that are like goddesses.
Yeah, and they're like so worried about this man.
And they're fighting over Muppet, not fighting over, they're like they're super into Muppet Mouth. Ew.
Yeah, gross. Well, speaking of him, we saw a little bit of Craig this episode. Paige told him that she made out with Andrea, and he was like really pissed at her and like hung up on her.
Ever.
It's like, you're the one that didn't want to be exclusive. You're the one that is hooking up with Kristen. Like, obviously, you're doing the same thing. So, I mean, it's neither of them can be mad at the other because, but yeah, it's annoying.
I agree 100%. It's ridiculous. And Craig just gives me such like sexist vibes, and I'm not about that.
Yeah, agreed. Obviously they're together now. They're filming Winter House now, so it'll be interesting to see that relationship
Not
more.
into it. I am not into it.
It'll be interesting seeing them like exclusive, like dating though. Maybe he'll be better. I don't know.
I think Naomi dodged a bullet.
Maybe.
And we also saw more of Carl dating Mackenzie, and like, I don't know, it feels like they're kind of focusing on this a little bit too much. Like, we know it's not going to work out. Like, we know him and Lindsay are together.
Yeah, I guess this filmed before they knew that they were going to get together. So I mean, I knew, like I said before, I knew this girl from Love Island, and she was actually my favorite on there. But I'm not super invested in this relationship just because we know he's with Lindsay now. So
Yeah, it just feels like a waste of time. And like, obviously, I know sometimes we see relationships play out when we know that the outcome is going to be something like totally different. But with this, it just feels like a waste of airtime. Like, I'm sure there's like other things we could be seeing.
yeah, I agree.
That's my only like.
It's funny because I remember before, like when the show started, they showed the cast members in the city a lot more than they do now. Like a lot, like it like half focused on like their work life and then going out in the summer to like that, like on the weekend. But now it's like really just them out, which actually I don't mind. I like the group stuff more anyway, but
Well,
it's funny how it's evolved.
Even like the opening credits like included them like in the city.
Yeah, but it's not as big of a part now, which is fine. They do some group stuff, like obviously this episode they did Kyle's birthday in the city, and he gave a really ridiculous speech.
Yeah, oh my God, Kyle, he is such a shitty fiance. Like, I feel bad for Amanda.
Yeah, I feel bad for her, but I feel like she does like give him a lot of chances. So I don't know. The only thing else I would have to say is we also saw Lindsay go to the fertility doctor, and she, for her age, is pretty fertile. So maybe that'll mean that her and Carl will have a baby at some point.
I just don't see them lasting.
You don't?
No. I just think
Yeah.
like, she is way more into him than he is into her. Like, she's always been the one who wanted this relationship. And I just something about like the way she posts on Instagram, I just get these very like, I get vibes that she is just so into this, and there's a reason they haven't worked out before. And yes,
Yeah.
this is him being sober for the first time, but I feel like maybe even now more so he may be like, oh wow, this isn't for me. And it could be the other way around. Maybe Lindsay will feel that way too. But from my vantage point, it just seems like she's obsessed with him.
Yeah. I guess time will tell. I mean, I do think he's a lot more grounded than her, and I think that'll probably ultimately be the demise, but we'll see.
So now we're going to head out of the East Coast and over to our West Coast ladies in the OC. And we started off with Gina and Heather doing like a home tour of Gina's place, which was pretty comical.
Yeah, it was funny, like the reversal of roles when like Gina's touring Heather's and they're all like shocked, and then Heather's shocked by Gina's, but for the wrong reasons. Like they were looking at the bathroom and how like, you know, there's like 6 kids and like 2 bedrooms, and she's like, this reminds me of college.
And that was really funny, like her like looking into the laundry chute.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
And it's not like a bad place or anything, but to have that many kids there is like, it's too small, but I don't know.
Oh, Gina and her casita. So we, I think, in my opinion, saw probably the most cringy, like husband wife interaction at a group dinner.
I could not watch this. I was just like waiting for this episode to end. It was awful. Like, I've expressed how much I hate Jen, but this really just proved it to me. This episode, that relationship is weird. The dinner at Heather's was weird. The way like Heather invited her friends was weird. Again, I feel like Heather is self-producing too much. I don't care for either of them. I don't know.
Yeah, the only part I thought was really hilarious was when they got there and Ryan was like, "Why couldn't I have brought the dog?"
And then when they showed his socks.
Ew.
And
then
like Heather and
like,
Terry were commenting on it.
when he put the napkin on as like a bib, like all of it was so cringe.
Yeah. I think the cringiest thing for me was like when Jen's like saying, "Oh, he's doing so good." Like she's babying him, like treating him like he's a little kid. Like, yeah, I get he's maybe not the most cultured, but the way that she was treating him and like it was so like just talking down to him and like condescending. And
Yeah.
I do not like her at all. Like I hate her.
Yeah, she is giving off major one season wonder energy.
I swear if she comes back, honestly, they can just, if they canceled OC, I said that last season, they tried to revamp it. It's really not giving what they wanted it to give. I am really okay letting this franchise just rest. I don't think that Tamra and Vicky are going to save it. I think it just needs to go away.
When people say you're dead, it's time to lie down.
Absolutely. And that's what this season needs, what this franchise needs to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that everyone loves Tamra and like whatever, but like the last season with Tamra and Vicky wasn't great either. I just don't know why they think that's what's going to save it.
Yeah.
I think it just needs to go away, but I don't know. I think that they'll try to do something else with it.
I think they will too.
I think they'll bring Tamra back.
I think they will too. I don't see OC going away just yet.
I think they'll bring Tamra back, get rid of Jen, and get some newbies, maybe. Get like a newbie or two. But we'll see. Only time will tell.
Is there anything else we need to say for OC?
No, I was like not that excited about this episode. I'm ready for the season to end. They are filming the reunion soon. So Andy finally tweeted that, his team was getting ready. So
we should be getting a look soon. And
then once OC is over, I'm almost positive Beverly Hills is taking their time slot. So chop, because I'm over OC.
Yeah, same. I'm ready. I'm ready for the season to wrap up and I'm excited for the reunion.
It's going to be a 2-parter. I'm calling it now.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Word on the Street Is. We had so much fun talking with Kristen about Jersey and Salt Lake City. And then Michael and I always have a blast like spilling all the tea on Miami, OC, Summer House, and all of that. So thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week for another episode.